To me, when somebody is sick, he should go for somewhere where he will be healed, not where he will keep on. Nobody likes to have any disease as a friend for life. So, since there were signs that patients were being treated and they recovered their health from HIV in this center, I completely believed that the next patient that would be healed would be me. And luckily, things are moving towards my belief.
His whole treatment is based on one fact, that the HIV has managed to invade the human being, and especially invade the most important cell in his body that defends him, escaping reconnaissance systems in the body. And so what he does basically is say, hey, here's what is invading you. So he takes the virus, and presents it back to the body in a way that the body will recognize, attack it. And that's basically the theory.
Look at it, when God created us, our immune system were very effective, very efficient. He created germs also. And that's what I'm referring to. Let me say what happened. Germs were not intended to infect us. They were microorganisms that existed, and they had a right to exist just as we had a right to exist. Microbes are so small you can hardly see them. So the water content is so small that it's very easily lost. And to survive the earth, they have to protect themselves by covering themselves up. And that protection gave them the ability to survive. But it also gave them the ability to survive in us.
It only get worse if it moves from one host to another. It has characteristics which it acquires, and it acquires means too of protecting itself. That can only be harmful to the host if the virus can protect itself well. And the host has not actually been able to also develop characteristics to deal with the virus. As for that happened, it would all be on the beach somewhere having fun.
Mankind is supposed to be able to live with hope for the future. You invest in children, they have to go to school, they have to grow up and be healthy, and then to prepare a better tomorrow, because the future is for children. And when you have a population that is so infected, and that the challenge of curing AIDS remains a permanent syndrome, you kind of wonder what will happen tomorrow if measures are not taken to actually fight AIDS in a much more determined manner, such that the disease is actually eliminated.
HIV, AIDS, where are you from? You torture humanity. Choosing from us the most active, you hamper our development. Join hands to bar the way to HIV, AIDS.
When I was Minister of Health, we had an incidence of 0.05% of HIV. And most of those few cases had come from Europe. So it wasn't a bigger problem at the time. But it was clear that because it was linked to an activity in which everybody practices, the sex activity, it was bound to spread very quickly, and it has done so. It's a very common condition.
South Africa there are at least 5 million people suffering from HIV. Sub-Saharan Africa, there are at least 24 million people suffering from HIV. In Asia now, it is getting out of hand. China in those days did not know about HIV. Today, it is already getting to about 5%. And China, what's the population of China?
Where it was discovered for the prevention of it is not important. We thank God that it was discovered. Suppose it were not discovered. Look, let me tell you that now, right up to today, some people in Cameroon who don't know about it, they still feel it's witchcraft. Yes, they feel it's somebody who is bewitching somebody who comes out like that, eats up all their skin and they become skin and bones. A valid interpretation, because that's how their cosmology reasons. Maybe you think they are stupid. They are not stupid. Their logic is quite in their mind. Their logic is quite systematic. Now, it is people like that now that you have a big job of convincing them that no, it's not witchcraft. So people are interested to know where it comes from, how to avoid it. They don't even want to feel that it is their own sexual behavior, the way they comport themselves. They don't.
Víctor Onamaku empezó su carrera de medicina en Ibadan, Nigeria, con una beca en 1948.
And then we started to do what is known as clinical service, meaning training us to do medical work with patients. We spent a whole year doing this. Then somebody from the University of London came and saw it and said, the hospital which we're doing was not a very high-class hospital like we have in London. So he said, that guy we had spent there was not going to recognize. And he recommended that we had to go to London to train.
There are certain traditional practices that favor the spread of HIV/AIDS. Like here in Africa, we believe that anybody that is ill is an uncle or a grandmother or an auntie that is making you to be sick. So you go to all the traditional people who will take blades and they want to cut and put certain chemicals, or they are washing you or they are protecting you and stuff like that.
They have, of course, the traditional aspect. You have polygamy, early child marriages, and all sort of things. You understand? Then, of course, there's no empowerment of the women, which are the most vulnerable. Okay? So basically, you see, inside all those aspects, there are loopholes. And inside those loopholes, that's where you have those infections.
Some people feel that if you just greet somebody like that, you have already got it. No, that's not true. So if I know that you are HIV positive, I don't greet you. And in Africa, greeting somebody is very important, isn't it? So if you send your hand to greet me and I say, no, because you are infected, that means that you don't even have the right to live.
Sex remains now present the predominant means of transmission, especially in our environment where ignorance is still the order of the day.
The mothers, women and the girls that deliver the babies, most of them are HIV positive.
The other aspect of the society, which of course, because most of the time in third world countries, the transmission is mostly to women, because the women happen to be, I'm sorry to say that, the weaker sex. And in most of these countries, they've been exploited in the sense that they're not empowered. They're not independent as far as their own decisions are concerned.